Hey all, it's Adam from Metro Hobbies here today, continuing our Getting Into Gunpla tutorial series. So you've gone out and you've got your kit and you've followed my tutorial on sanding and crafting and putting it all together and the panel lining, so good on you. But it's still looking just a little bit flat. Maybe you need to add a little bit more detail. How are we going to go about that? Decals, of course. Plenty of different options available in the decal world, so let's check it out, shall we? So let's start off with the very basics of the basics. The most common decal you will find in Gundam kits is the humble sticker style decal. Now these are the easiest to apply, only needing a couple of tools, and very straightforward as just peeling a sticker off and putting it on the kit. So let's check that one out. So here is the first of our three decal types in action, the sticker style as stated before. Now you will find these on a sheet like this light blue sort of background. Generally that's proof that they are a sticker style decal. In terms of which decal you actually need, at the back of the manual you will find these symbols, and these are in pretty much all the older kits with sticker style decals. Some of the new ones are a bit more translated, but you can see that we need this symbol here, which equates to this part here. Obviously you can see that from the picture there. So we're going to get the core splendor, which is this little plane here. We're going to peel this bad boy off and apply it to the side just along here, along this sort of area. So let's get that one done. Let's start off with, you want to get sort of where the actual sticker is, press in lightly and just pop off the edge. From there, get our tweezers. You want to do this slowly so you don't tear it. Very easy to tear these things, so you want to go nice and slow and have a lot of patience. Every good hobbyist has a lot of patience. So we've got that one there, and we're going to apply that along here. Now once this starts to stick, it's very difficult to get off without wrecking it. So you want to get this done in 1-2 swift motions. Obviously a little bit more difficult with this part that I'm holding. If you can get a flat part, it's generally easier. I would also suggest crocodile alligator clips or helping hand sets. They really are a little boon in this situation. But let's see this go. So we're going to about line that up about there like that. Lay one end down. Straight on like that. That's not half bad if I do say so myself, and I do. And then you just want to get your tweezers and lightly push from the center just out, getting all that pressed down nicely, and of course any air bubbles. It's like putting a screen protector on an iPhone or something like that. Just press it down. You don't want to be too fierce with it, otherwise you will tear the actual sticker. Undoing all our hard work. There we are. Now that's one down. We only need to apply, well, about another 50 of them. But yeah, it does really add in that bit of extra detail you're after. Okay guys, so the next decal type we want to look at is the dry transfer decal. Now you know you've got dry transfers when they come with this white bit of paper at the back. Dry transfer decals usually come in master grade and perfect grade. You do occasionally get them in real grade, but they're few and far between. The application process is honestly like putting on a temporary tattoo, something quite similar to that. So let's check it out. Alright guys, so referring to our manual, we will work with the swords on the actual sword impulse, the weapons. So we want to find the dry transfer J, and we want to be applying it to this part of the sword just here. So here is our sheet, as you can see. There is J right there. Now, as you can see, I've already made a bit of a start. Cheeky me, but I am a avid builder in my spare time. So J is this red Zaft emblem here. So what we want to do is slice that out and then get started on the transfer process. So we're ready to move on to the application process. To apply it though, we are going to need this here, which is just some little 2mm masking tape, 2mm, 3mm, about that. This is Tamiya branded, plenty of other brands out there, flexible, non-flexible, but yeah, it's very good stuff and very necessary for this. So I've cut some out earlier, so let's get on to the application process. So we're going to lift up our dry transfer, get that out of the way there. Now you want to line that up roughly where you want it. Thinking it needs to be a little bit closer. Don't worry too much about where the actual where the plastic is, as it's just the wording that will be actually transferred. You don't want to press this down too hard, as it can start the process earlier, which is not something you want. These are very tedious to apply, but they do look fantastic once you've actually got them on there. So I'm thinking that's going to look good there. So what we want to do is get some of our tape. Just want to hold that down in place like that. Get some of the tape and apply it like that. Move that back up a little. So this tape will obviously hold the entire thing in place. A little bit more. Get that over that side there. Just like that. And now what we're going to do is take this bit of tape right here, put that straight over the top. And another piece like that, just to completely cover it. So there are a few different methods. This one is one of the ones that I find works the best. On a nice thick covering all over the actual dry transfer. There we go, just like that. Okay, now that that's set up, you want to take a ballpoint pen like this. And what you want to do is just get your ballpoint pen, just start drawing all over this tape. Now it seems a little crazy, but that is pressing, and you can feel it. You can feel it pressing the actual decal down onto the part there. Firmly but not hard, like a handshake. You just want to press it down. Like I said, you'll actually feel it start to adhere to the part. Just like that there. Now once we've done that a bit, I also like to get back side of the tweezers. You can also use that side there, but I like to find I get a bit more grip there. Just want to go over that a little bit more. Make sure it's all firmly down. All right, so let's see how that one turned out. So I'm just going to get our craft knife again, lift up that tape there. Begin to peel it back. Now that has come out fantastically, just like that. That's how you want to apply it. Comes out nicely, and you don't get as much of a glossy sort of area around like the like you do with the sticker style. They adhere fantastically when you do it correctly. If you don't follow those steps, you can end up pushing parts of the actual decal together. It just becomes an absolute mess. By that point you may as well give up. The secret is to have it on firmly with the tape, as firmly as you can, and not press too hard when you're applying. Otherwise, like I said, you will get that tearing, and it's just going to ruin your life there. Now the final decal type I want to talk about today is the water slide decal. These are very common in a lot of military kits, not so much in Gundam kits. You usually find that they're sold separately or in P Bandai and Gundam based things, which are few and far between in themselves. The way you transfer these on is with using MarkFit and or water solution. So yeah, let's get stuck into that one now. Okay guys, so here you can see we have our Jagan, and what I'm going to do is apply a transfer, a decal, and I'm thinking we need a bit of emblem on this shield just up the top here. It's a little bit bare. So because Jagans are, as every Gundam fan knows, an Earth Federation Space Forces unit, we will be going for this one up here. I think that'll go nicely. We'll slice that one out and we'll get it applied to the shield there. So let's get that started. So to apply the decal, we're going to need to first get it off its backing. We've got a little slider here of lukewarm water. We're just going to pop him in there. Always good to use tweezers for this, as that will take off any residue from your fingers. Won't be applying onto the actual decal itself, which can ruin the process. So let's let that sit for a few seconds, usually about 35 seconds, 40 seconds does nicely. Okay guys, so now we've left that for a while, we're going to get our decal out, and we want to sort of slide it up the top here. We want to try to avoid moving it as much as possible, as it could remove it from its backing early, which is not something you'll want. So I'm going to grab it like that, and we'll pop that piece in there, bring it out. Alright guys, so now we've got our decal out, we're just going to grab it like that. Just going to place this on the tip of my finger there. It doesn't matter so much as we're just going to be removing it from the backing. I'm going to get that like that and just sort of lightly start to slide it. You can see it's starting to move. So now we're going to get that there. Grab it with our tweezers. Get our craft knife. We're going to go down to where we want to apply it. Just with the back of your craft knife, just want to start to slide it off gently. You can see that's starting to go nicely. Move that over a little. Always give yourself plenty of space for this, of course, because once these go on, getting them off pretty much ruins them. There we go, slide it down like that. I'm going to try to get it first time, just like that. Hold it down where you want it. Now you've got a little bit of time to sort of move it around if you're not happy with its location. Honestly, that's a little bit off for my liking, so we're just going to sort of fiddle around with it, but you want to be really gentle when you fiddle around with it, because too much can cause it to bend and come up a bit crumpled. I'm thinking that looks pretty good like that. A little bit to the side. Pays to not be a perfectionist when you do this. You'll be here forever otherwise, much like myself. There we go. I'm thinking that's pretty good. Now that that's there, get your tweezers and just lightly press down on the opposite point. Try not to move it too much. And then just dab the excess water out with the cotton bud. Just like that. That'll get rid of the excess water and speed up the drying process, just all around the sides. Don't need to go too hard. Just like that. And now we'll swap hands. Get over to the other side. Again, press down lightly. Just like that. Just get rid of all the excess and one last push to make sure it's in position. I can feel that that's starting to not give as much now, which means it's starting to adhere. Just like that. There we go. Thinking that's looking pretty good right there. So now we've got the excess water, we're just going to leave that to dry. That will take a while to dry. Honestly, best to leave them for, well, really 30 minutes, but honestly leave it for a couple of hours if you want to be perfectly sure. And yeah, that's the basic way of how to apply a water transfer decal. But there is a more stronger binding agent we can use. So let's see that one in action. We will now be using the product MarkFit. It's a decal softener and setter. There are a lot of other brands out there. Guns do some really good stuff, and there's also MicroSol and MicroSet. All very good products, but my personal preference is with, to me, is MarkFit, particularly the strong. Okay, so to break this down, we're going to take some of said MarkFit, just dab off the extra like that. And then maybe a little bit more. And then we're just going to lightly apply to the area where we will be applying this decal. What this does is provide sort of a base for the actual decal to adhere to a bit stronger. So it starts to gather in the middle. That's not too bad, because when we apply this decal, it's actually going to push all that out. There we go, like that. Just want to get that perfectly centered. That'll do nicely. Okay, good. Now that we've got that, we'll move on. We will grab our get that a bit rough there. Our watered transfer. We're just going to lift that up like that. Get that on the finger like that. Okay. So, now it never hurts to have alligator clips or something handy for this sort of stuff, as you will find you run out of hands very quickly. So helping hands, alligator clips, those sort of things, definitely very helpful. And we will slide that off. Try to land it, if you can, straight on the little splodge of MarkFit there. And again, from here, we're just going to do our usual, line it up nicely, like that. That's actually pretty good, just right there. Yeah, I think that one will work right there nicely. Again, we dab off the excess, just around the side like that. There we go. So that will form a solid base for that decal to set on with that actual MarkFit. It does also, like I said, soften. So if you're doing this on a sort of cornered area, somewhere like around there, for instance, just down there, because it softens, it'll actually bend it more and make it adhere better to that actual surface, rather than one sort of part being really solid and the other part popping up at a later point and just looking atrocious. Very difficult to fix from there. So get it right the first time and you'll have no issues. The main difference is we're going to leave this to dry. Once it's dry, essentially come back, get the MarkFit out again and just apply over the surface. Once that's done, again, dab off a little bit of excess, and once it's dried up, it will be as solid as you can have a decal set. So brilliant product, MarkFit. I do highly recommend for your water slide transfers. So that just about sums up everything you guys need to know about decal work. Hopefully you've learnt a few things about it, and hopefully your kits will be able to come out as fancy as this little sword impulse here. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call, shoot us an email. Check our website for all the stuff listed in this video, and of course, take care. We'll catch you next time.